Welcome to a special episode of Brad reads the WoW patch notes because John is too lazy. So this week we have obviously the release of Mythic Plus, and so that's probably where I'll focus first in reading the patch notes. So this week we have the new affixes for the new season. First one is Inspiring. Some non-boss enemies have an inspiring presence that strengthens their allies. Spiteful. Fiends rise from the corpses of non-boss enemies and pursue random players. Storming. While in combat, enemies periodically summon damaging whirlwinds. The Season 1 affix itself is Prideful. Players overflow with pride as they defeat non-boss enemies, eventually forming a manifestation of pride. Defeating this manifestation greatly empowers the players. When this affix is active, your own ego may prove to be your downfall. As you defeat non-boss enemies, your vanity will eventually form a manifestation of pride. Defeating this manifestation greatly empowers the party with Prideful, a buff that increases your damage, mana regeneration, and movement speed for 1 minute. You'll want to prioritize your pulls to make the most of the Prideful buff, so you can take on challenging enemies more easily. As a reminder, several changes and reworks have been done to existing Mythic Keystone Dungeon affixes. Bursting is now a despellable magic debuff. Bursting deals a flat amount of damage instead of a percentage based off the player's max HP. Volcanic. Players are now knocked in the air when hit by a volcanic, and it deals damage equal to 15% of the player's health, where previously it was 40%. Sanguine. Sanguine's duration has been reduced down to 20 seconds instead of 60 seconds. Not much else there. Grievous. Non-periodic heals now remove 1 stack of it, and it now deals a flat damage instead of a percentage based off your max HP. Explosive. Explosive orbs now spawn 4 to 8 yards from the unit that summoned them, whereas previously it was 3 yards, so a bit more situational awareness required there. Explosive orb health has been reduced and no longer scales with the keystone level. Explosive orbs now have a sound effect when they're defeated, and Teaming and Skittish are no longer in the rotation, which personally makes me quite happy. I'll talk quickly about PvP-related updates, and then the Great Vault. So PvP-related updates, players can now spend Conquest to purchase gear from Zorg, or Zosorg in Oribos. This gear can be then upgraded by Aggressor Zodash for Honor. So first you spend Conquest, and then the further eye-level upgrades is just Honor. The upper limit of this upgrade is determined by your current highest rating bracket in arenas or rated battlegrounds. So if you're unranked, the eye level is 200, Combatant, it's 207, Challenger, 213, Rival, 220, and Duelist, 226. There's a cap on how much Conquest can be earned during a season. The cap increases by 550 each week. So this means this week, during week 1, the cap is 550, and then during the week 2, it goes up to 1,100. If you earn 550 Conquest during week 1, you'll be able to earn 550 Conquest during week 2, because it increases by 550. If you earn no Conquest during week 1, then week 2 you'll be able to go up to the cap of 1,100. And then, for example, if you earned 400 Conquest during week 1, you can do the next 700 in the week 2. So it's always going to increase, and you can kind of catch up with it. Finally, you should not have to wait for conduit upgrades. Conduits appear at a higher rank on the vendor automatically when your rating increases. World bosses start this week. 1 boss will be active per week, and they all drop item eye level 207 gear, as well as many different conduits and legendary recipes. So it's worth checking out if your class has a legendary recipe or conduit that comes from these world bosses, and make sure you're getting it done. But I think in the first few weeks you'll want to get it done anyway, because it's item level 207, so it's going to be a high upgrade than obviously the Mythic Zero stuff. So let's talk about the other reward updates. So completing Season 1 activities will allow you to select a reward from the Great Vault. You can unlock up to 9 different options for your weekly reward by completing objectives from raids, mythic dungeons, and PvP. The Great Vault is located in the Hall of Holding in Oribos, where you can select your weekly reward and view the week's objectives. Completing a plus 14 key this week will reward you with the highest item level piece possible in your vault next week. During the first week of the Mythic Keystone Dungeons, which is this week, there is a cap on the increase of the item level for the end of run loot. The loot will stop increasing at Mythic Keystone plus 10 for the first week, which is item level 203. But the Great Vault is uncapped in the following week. So we can still get... The loot will stop upgrading at plus 10, but if you do a plus 14, the Vault next week will have the highest possible eye level, which is 226 for completing Mythic Keystone 14. And that's the core of the updates for this audio recording of the patch notes. Just want to say a big shout out to our sponsor, me, for doing this. Enjoy your day, everybody.